So for some weeks now, we have actually been discussing purpose, your purpose in life, and Bernard has been taking us through a lot. And since he's not around, Bernard has actually given out his shoes to somebody. Those big shoes. He gave the shoes to some fine lady, eh? I wonder how she's going to wear that shoe. She's in the person, Vanessa. Vanessa, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have a chat with you.
Yeah.
This morning I am blessed to have a fine lady over here. Well, for some time now, Bernard has been taking us through a series of, let me say, it is a stage. It's in the form of stages, and we've been discussing purpose. And once we are discussing purpose, I mean, Bernard has just opened our eyes a lot.
Yeah.
And we are so grateful to have, I mean, such education.
Yeah.
And most of our listeners are the outside world, the other side of the world. They are actually learning. I remember somebody was actually preparing a personal statement, and after listening to our show, got more ideas and prepared it. So I know very well that once Vanessa is here, things are just going to change. Listeners, Vanessa is the international relations personnel for Level Up Consult. Once again, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right. So, Vanessa, what do you have for us today?
Okay, so as you said, I have very big shoes to fill. But today, I just want to, in line with our purpose, I just want to talk about people knowing that they are enough.
Okay.
Especially when they are going out there to look for jobs or within the job setting.
Okay.
So I just want to, talk about my life experience. I've not had too many experiences. I'm quite young. But I believe everyone has a story
You're
that
quite
they can
young.
share. Everyone has a story they can share
Okay.
to help another person.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone's story is important. So, yes, I'm just going to, in fact, in regards to what you were saying about the personal statement,
Yeah.
let me just pull a shameless plug here and say, if you need help, even with writing your personal statement,
Yes.
you should come to Loop. Level Up Consult will help you, gather your ideas. It's not like we're writing it for you, but we have experienced writers who can help you gather your thoughts and arrange it in such a way that whoever is reading it will be persuaded, in fact, to admit you into whatever school it is. I mean, that's also notwithstanding the fact that you have very good grades. But come to us, anything you need career related, whether it's advice on how you should behave, the kind of things you need to have before entering that job market, or what you need to do to improve yourself in that job market, come to LUB.
Wow.
With all of that being said, I'll tell you a little story.
Okay.
So when I did my master's, I did my master's quite early, right after undergrad. I remember leaving the US. That's where I did. I remember leaving the US and being so hopeful. I said, I'm a girl. I have a master's degree. Nothing is going to stop me. Nothing is going to stop me. I wanted to work with the United Nations. Specifically, UNICEF. I love children and women, so I'm like, that's where I wanted to work. So, number one had to do with my expectation that I was done with school. I had a good master's degree from a good school, so I thought it was going to be easy to immediately get a job. I started applying for jobs even before I graduated, and I just kept getting rejection after rejection after rejection. And you know what? I didn't understand it. Because I feel like no one prepared me for the realities of after graduating from school. the expectation is that once you've graduated, you're immediately going to get a job and
Yes.
you'll have a master's.
That is our dream.
That's it. But then I woke up to the sad reality that it's for some people you are done with school and immediately you get a job.
Yes.
For others it takes months, others years. So it turned out that would have been my story, that I would have had to wait for a few months.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, in the few months that I couldn't get a yes, oh my God, that's when I started. I never thought I had self-esteem issues till that time. That's when I started to question myself. Am I even enough? Are you telling me that me having a master's degree, it's not even that I had like a local master's degree. I had an international master's degree.
And the international, like, let me say, certificate, it carries weight.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
and
why
I
then
did
do
quite
you
well.
find yourself in there?
I remember waking up, like the couple of months before I actually got a job, waking up and just being like, oh my God, my life is over.
Wow.
I can't believe I'm not doing, like, I can't get a job. Why? What's wrong with me? You start questioning yourself. I don't know if other people have been in that situation. But at that time, I thought I was alone. Till I had discussions with other people. Even my own dad told me, listen, that's how it is. You know, sometimes it takes time. But that doesn't mean you should stop trying. So number one, I think what I first learned was that when we are done with, let's say, school, or when you are in the job market looking actively, the key word is actively. You have to be looking. I can't tell you the number of jobs I've applied to and the number of no's I've gotten.
Wow.
You have no idea. But that should not affect your self-esteem. Because it's something that really affects a lot of people's self-esteem, and I was one of them. Okay, so number one is expectations. Let's be realistic. When you get out of the university or whatever, or sometimes you can be working and you can get fired. Just keep trying. Just keep knowing that there's some value you are bringing to the table, whatever it is. And know that once you keep trying, there's a level of persistence you also need to have. Once you keep trying, you will eventually get that opportunity. Now, when it comes to the idea of being enough, I also said don't let your expectations, let's say you are fired, let's say you don't end up getting the job you were really hoping for. Don't let that. People tie
their lives
self-worth to things. You see?
So if I don't get it,
if I don't get the job, that means I'm nothing. I must be rubbish. Sorry. I must be rubbish for people to look at my very nicely put CV and tell me no. But you don't understand that sometimes there are people who will be better qualified than you, but that doesn't necessarily mean you are not good for that job. It's just a matter of time, as I said. Don't be defined by you getting a job or not, or you not, like, let's say, for instance, you being fired, because it's a thing that's happening. With the onset of Corona, I'm sure a lot of people have lost their jobs. And I can't even imagine the kind of thoughts they are having within themselves. Anyways, so now I wanted to also talk about being intentional. I spoke about value. I mentioned it quite briefly. When it comes to, I don't think a lot of people also know that we are so valuable. Everyone here, there's something we are bringing to the table, whether you know it or not. And the job is really for you to be intentional about finding out what is it that me, Vanessa, what is it that you can bring to the table. The table can be a job. The table can be even in your family. The table can be in your society. There's some intrinsic value that you have, and it is your job to find it. Your mom cannot tell you, Akosia, if you do science, you succeed. Maybe, Akosia, you might be good at science, but maybe your passions, you have a strong suit in sewing. And maybe that's where you'd be more valuable if you go into the job market. Do you understand? So I think we also
but
need
this part of our world has made, let me say, technical, vocational education seems like once you find yourself in that area, you are blockheaded.
Yes, and you know what? Thankfully, we have organizations like CODVIT that are helping raise awareness about the fact that these technical and vocational professions are actually the ones that can be the bedrock of our country. When you go to developed countries, for instance, somewhere like Germany, technical and vocational education is something that drives the economy. So it's something that we really need to pay attention to in this country. But I'll tell you, if you've noticed, people are slowly venturing into. Look at how many makeup.
A lot of people actually turn out to go through the universities after their undergrads and come back.
Give their certificates to their mummies and daddies.
And come back and they'll be sewing, they'll be doing their makeups and all.
Yes. I have a lot of friends, maybe I went to school or college with Dave. They're like, no, I want to do photography. That's where my passion has always been. I want to do fashion. I want to do makeup. I want to do, like, let's not, people, let me just say this. Technical and vocational education is very beneficial. And luckily, it's not been as tapped. It really, there's a lot of space in there. So if you feel like you're good in one of these professions, my mom always says this thing in Ghana. She says, okay, my guy's not good.
Oh, your guy is not good. Please say it. I have a guy interpreter here.
Like
Ninina
things
that
you use your hand with. Like I had an electrician or whoever repairs a stove. I don't know what you call them. He came to repair, and then he took 200 Ghana in less than an hour.
Yes.
And somebody is sitting in a bank. I'm not.
That is so true. That is true. I mean, you are not degrading anybody, but it's
and
true.
A really nice job, and not being paid that level of money.
Day. No, sorry. This one, it is not a day, but some few hours.
Yes. So that's when my mom gave me that actual quote that when you have a job that you use your hands, it's just a metaphor for vocational, but you can do a lot with that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, as I said, when it comes to, let's be intentional about finding out what are we good at. Just do what works, people. You can't look at Akosia, you can't be looking at Abina's life and saying Abina she's a great banker. They are helping her get a loan for a car. So I'm going to do that.
A loan, and your life is being tied to the loan.
Yes, what are you good at? Stay in that lane. And then, like, just polish it. Just polish it. Just polish it. And sooner or later, you will excel in that area. Now, I know that because of desperation, being in the economy that we are in, sometimes you have to be desperate. You need, if you are from, let's say, a comfortable background, you can afford to say, I want to do what I want. But there are a lot of people, if we must admit, who are doing jobs that they hate, but because they need to feed themselves, they need to cater for themselves, that's why they are. But I also say this, don't be too scared of those areas too, because sometimes you end up in areas that you're not really interested in. But if your work ethic and certain characteristics, like if you have certain attitudes in that space, you never know what it can open for you in the future. Anyway, so as my previous point was stating, let's try to be intentional. Let's stop looking at other people and what they are doing, and let's focus. What am I here to do? Figure out what it is, and then move in that path. Let's not have like too many distractions. Let's move in that path. Now, I would say for my few years, okay, so I came back maybe in 2015 till now, I've had a couple of jobs. And
after receiving a lot of no's.
After receiving so many no's, I can't even count. You know, it gets to a point when I see the no, I'll just be like, okay.
So do you turn out to go back for your CV after you had said no to me?
Okay, so most of the jobs I have applied for, I'll also add the story, but most of the jobs I have applied for, you have to send it through a particular portal or an email. It's not necessarily
yes, but I need to retract. I have to retrieve whatever it is because You said no to me. Why then do you have my CV with you?
But sometimes some companies are good about this. They may not want you. They may not want you for this particular role. But if there's another role, some companies are very good at sending you. They're like, oh, we have a vacancy. Are you interested? And then maybe you can reapply. But I know in the Ghanaian context, that's very, difficult for us. Now, there's something I wanted to add. When you said about these CVs, can you collect them back? I will add this. I was in a job, I loved it. It was in my passion. Like, it was in that line. But I realized that, like, sometimes I would go to work and there was nothing to do, literally. And I was like, wait, my brain cells, like, something is happening to... It's like I'm going to work, but I'm not doing anything, really. So one time, a colleague was going for a workshop. I decided to follow that workshop. I didn't have to go. I could have just stayed in the office. I decided to follow the colleague. That's where I went to meet somebody who became my boss. Do you understand? So sometimes, as I was saying, you can be in a job setting that is not ideal. It's not your... But find a way. There are ways. Do you understand? So let's not lose hope.
This is what we say. You're born in a page, my papa.
And I've had a couple of those instances. And when you're at work too, I'll get to this point. But now, also coming back to this point, one thing I've learned is you can start small. What I mean by that is, and I've had a couple of those too, where you're just working for free. Now, when you're working for free, you need to know that the thing you're doing, if you're working for free, is so beneficial to you that it's either going to make wonders on your CV or there are just some experiences you are getting from that place that you won't get anywhere. Do you understand? So let's not be too scared of calling someone in our network and saying, oh, auntie, uncle, or Mr. So and so, can I just come and, work for you for a bit?
As an intern?
Yes, as an intern. There's so much you can learn from that. Sometimes it's not even about, like, the things you be hearing in a day from that person, you have no idea what it can do to you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And sometimes when you are even in that space, you never know, an opening will come and then you just enter. So let's not be too scared. I feel like as millennials, or we the younger ones, everything must be about... As soon as you say, oh, you have a job, people say, are they paying you? Are they paying you well?
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes they will not pay you or they will not pay you well, but I know the value I'm getting.
Yeah.
The other kind of value I'm getting from this particular position. So let's not be too scared of that.
All right. So someone sends a message. The person says, tell her some companies are very wicked. You go for an interview and they don't even tell you whether you passed or not. You will be waiting, sir, and you will give up. Well,
let me tell you, that thing is so true. And I've had an instance where I sent, this was in this Ghana, and this was I was surprised. It was an international organization.
Wow.
I sent a CV. They didn't even say, oh. They didn't even tell me, oh, we've received it. So you really don't know where you stand. And I really urge companies, if anyone is listening who has a company or is about to have a company, like, just give us that level of respect. Like the HR departments in office organizations need to be on their toes. Like, I know that sometimes there's a lot of people applying, but at least tell us, we've received your email. Oh, okay. Sometimes you don't even hear you made it or not. You end up forgetting that, oh, I even applied for. Do you understand? So I think companies can do better when it comes to those HR. And some HR people too, I've heard. It's not that I'm insulting. But sometimes you send your CV and the reception.
It is so bad.
It's so bad. It's
they look at you and they frown.
It's terrible. I remember, I have so many stories. I remember I went to this other international organization, because you know me, that's where my mind is, international. And I had to lie, literally. I had to lie from the security to what, to now go and meet the HR person. And the HR person, who is now my friend, was trying to be difficult. But
A he or she?
A he. He was doing his job, basically. He was saying that, no, you don't bring, as I said, hard copies.
Yeah.
You have to say, I'm like, I'm already here.
So take it.
Just look at it. And guess what? Me walking into that office, lying was no good. But I got a job that same day. So let's not, sometimes, I'm telling you, things are, I call these things elements. Things are going to come and it's like it's against you. It's against, just try it. Just keep going.
So sometimes you need to be a bit radical, but in a positive manner.
Yes. You have to have your eye on that goal. And sometimes as you are getting there, you'll be like, let me tell you, so many detours. But just keep going. Show up. Dress up. How I ended up at that job, it was at this other job I was talking about that I was bored. Another day I wore my heels, dressed nicely. Appearance is also another thing, if you're looking for.
Yeah.
I printed 10 CVs. All the kind of places I wanted to work in Ghana.
You took it there?
I was sending. The last one is where I got a job.
Wow.
That day. And then I went back to my employer. I said, I just got a job. And she herself knew it was a better opportunity for me. So she's like, whatever you have, whatever work you have, just hand it in and then you can go. And I was done. So sometimes, guys, let's just be very intentional about this. Wake up.
I have this friend who used to work with a company, and she was actually like the company, the job over there is not challenging enough.
Yeah.
Yes, so it is not challenging enough, and that is making her feel so bored. So she actually decided to quit and went to read law and thinking the cases that will come will challenge her.
Yeah.
And but she's now called to the bar.
Nice.
And I am waiting to hear other testimony from that side as well.
Yeah.
That she's being challenged over there.
Yeah.
I don't know where else she'll be challenged.
Yeah.
Apart from that side that she's going to find herself in there. But it is actually a goal. Like you are asking yourself that, are you enough? This is what I want to do. And it is not enough for me. That I have to challenge myself and achieve a lot of things in life. That is what we are looking out for, right? So where is our goal now?
Our goal? Like, please expand.
Where is our goal? Where are we actually heading towards? Is it that I get 1, 2, 3, okay. We need to challenge ourselves at that point. So you asking yourself series of questions. Am I that good? Why have I not gotten a job yet? And all.
Don't be saying, let me tell you something about this thing of why. That why question is so bad. The minute you start feeling like a victim, like you're let me tell you something. This thing, from my experience, the more you question yourself, the more of a rabbit hole you are going to get in. Don't be if you are questioning yourself, let it be in terms of what can I be, let it be in a positive way. What can I be doing to improve myself? How can I be better? Don't be saying, why am I like this? You start to put yourself in that victim mode. And trust me, the situation you're in, a lot of people are also in it.
Okay.
Sometimes your situation is even better than other people. So a key thing about this being I'm enough is just trusting, whether you know it or not. I'm telling you now. And you have to be intentional about it. If it even means getting up every morning and telling yourself, I'm telling you, at a point I wrote, my mother thought I was crazy. I wrote it on my mirror with the lipstick. I am enough, because I was getting to a point where I was not feeling like I was on the outside. It looked like, oh, you're fine, you have a master's degree, you can get any job. And I'm like, it's not working. And it's affecting my self-esteem. And this is real. No matter how confident you are sometimes, the number of no's and rejections you get can get to your core. Do you understand? So we need to build like a defense against that thing getting into us. Because now when you start to believe that, you are screwed. When you start to believe that you have no value, you are basically speaking against your essence.
Yeah.
Because your essence is you are valuable. That's why you are here. You didn't come here for nothing. So if you are saying you are not, then it's like you're a dead person walking. Your mind is just fixated on the fact that you are nothing. So how, even if this guy had a job for me, because in my mind I feel like I'm nothing.
You're scared to take that offer.
Even if he's trying to give me a job, I'll be like, hey, but I'm not dressed. Like, and by the time you realize, you go and look for somebody, because no employer has time for people who don't have confidence and don't know what they are doing. It's their job. They need to get money. It's their baby. So you need to have confidence. Like the key word is, when I say I am enough, it's saying have confidence. And this is not something you just wake up and have. It's something you build on. That's why I keep on saying this thing about intentionality.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a message coming from Angie. She's in Adenta. She says, tell her sometimes you want to do internship, but money no day. Imagine it's free and the company is at Accra. You stay at Oyarefa. Transport alone is like 25 cedis.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another big wahala.
I get it.
And another message from Money inside Abogba. All right, it says the HRs too are too known. They want us to beg them, sir. Charlie, we know we need. Come again, Mr. Man. Charlie, you need me. I need you. All right. They make it seem one way. All right. So yes, but at that point you are handicapped. So you have to just succumb to whatever it is. At that point,
sometimes these things they come with complications.
Yes,
and you know what? Let me just tell people this one thing that I realized. Do you know nobody, your mother, your father, your employer, nobody owes you anything. Let's stop walking around with this sense of entitlement. I need a job, so I must get a job. No, that is not. Don't go with that mentality of like, because I want it, I must get it. The way the world works is sometimes you won't get it, and you just need to be humble and go and keep looking for things that maybe you will get. But sometimes let's not be angry at the HR people too. Sometimes I know sometimes they have to, be better with their attitude. Some of them, like, but like, let's not have a sense of entitlement that just because I am going, they should take my CV. And you don't know how many, maybe by the time you got there, and sometimes even in some companies, there's already the position that they are advertising over there. There's already somebody within the office
who's capable.